Welcome back on the AM show. And of course, we take you back to our election headquarters. It's 2 days to the parliamentary primaries of the governing New Patriotic Party. We've been hosting some aspirants in the course of this week. Today is going to be no different from the rest. Today we host someone who wants to be parliamentary candidate for Abirem. He's in the person of Frank Ahimah Mireku. He is our guest now on the show. Mr. Mireku, a very good morning to you, sir. You may have to unmute so you can hear me, Mr. Mireku. Hello, Frank. Hello, Frank. Well, it doesn't appear Mr. Mireku can hear me. Basically, we're going to try to engage him on what exactly his vision is, his achievements so far in that constituency, why he even wants to be a member of parliament for that constituency, and what we can expect him to bring on board. Of course, we'll also look at what he thinks he's going to use to marshal his forces, to marshal the resources needed to convince delegates that he is the right person to actually get the nod in Abirem. We'll try to get that connection up and running with Frank Ahimah Mireku, who hopes to get the nod to become member of parliament or the candidate for the NPP in Abirem. Mr. Mireku, a very good morning to you once more.
Yeah, hi, good morning to you, Benjamin.
You're playing hide and seek with me. Good to have you.
Apology. You know, last minute like this, there are a lot of political dynamics.
I see. So let's start off with your constituency. I'm sure you've lived in that constituency for a while and all of that, like many of your colleagues would tell me. But why is it that you want to become member of parliament? Let's start from there.
All right. Thank you, Benjamin, once again. I have lived in this constituency all my life. I'm a native, first of all. I have taught here at Abirem Secondary School over 10 years. I have been the past constituency secretary for 4 years, way back 2009. I was a constituent secretary. I've served this party in various capacities. And then when I also got the opportunity to work at local government service as special assistant to Dr. Nana Atwata, the people of Abirem got to know that, yes, indeed, the work here, Mireku can do it better than we are seeing now. Having said that, Benjamin, it is also striking to note that Newmont Gold is here. Mine in the Abirem, there's Newmont Gold here, and apart from that, the people here are mostly farmers. And my vision, my contribution to the people here, they bought into my vision, especially the delegates and the town folks, my support to them in terms of donations. They know Mireku is always there for them. And they feel that that seeming disconnect between the incumbent, the sitting MP and the constituent, Mireku can be brought on board to bridge that gap.
Right. No, go ahead. I was just interjecting.
So having said that, I have articulated my vision clearly to the delegates. I have told them that when they give me the mandate coming Saturday, 3 major things will be brought on board. First of all, I'm bringing what you call the agro-stock depot concept. This is predominantly
agro-stock depot. Is that what you said?
Agro-stock depot, yeah. What this means is that all the communities in Abirem, I'm going to have a depot where farming inputs, because apart from the mining, everybody one way or the other engages in farming as well. So we are predominantly farmers, like I've indicated earlier.
Right.
The agro-stock depot, I am going to bring all the farming inputs, be it weedicide, pesticide, fertilizer, cocoa spray machine, from the depot, so that the cost of, let's say, weedicide, which is 60 cedis or 80 cedis at Nkoko or Abirem, I will get it from the depot at a reduced price, say 30 Ghana cedis. And then
how are you going to manage that?
You mean in terms of funding?
In terms of the reduced prices?
Absolutely. Once I'm buying from depot, I'm going to get it at the depot price, at the manufacturing price. So by extension, you know, this our economy, this agro chemical I'm talking about, if it is 60 cedis on the market, if you go to the depot where it is being manufactured, Like, for instance, you go to Crocodile Market, you want machete for your people, and it is sold at 40 cedis for one on the market. Better than you can agree with me that you can get it around 20-25 from the manufacturing place.
But
And
you
then
know
I
why?
will
You know why it ends up being 40 CDs sometimes? Because transportation, bad roads, if it comes to agri-produce, you would find so many other factors. So it's not just as though people slapped these on them without some mitigating circumstances. So that means basically you are also willing to run a loss in order to satisfy your constituents. That's what you're saying.
but I'm there to serve the people. So if it has to do with transportation costs and all of that, I need to absorb those costs for the people. So by extension, you realize that we largely reduce the cost on all of these farming inputs for the ordinary person in Abirem.
Okay.
This is something that the people talk about all the time, and I have piloted it and it has worked successfully. So I am of strong conviction that when I'm giving the note, and with this, of course, I'm going to link directly with the manufacturing organization, the MD, and all of that, so that I get it at that manufacturing price. So by extension, I'm going to reduce the cost on that. Now, let me just cite one example. For instance, the cocoa spray machine. My people always complain that the cost, they cannot buy the quality one and all of that. If I'm put there as an MP, these are some of the things. At the factory price, the quality ones, I'm going to get them, then they are going to buy at the same price without profit. Largely, the cost or the high cost has to do with the intermediaries, somebody adding the cost from here and there and all of that. So I'm going to help the people. So that is the agro stock concept. I'm bringing something we call the MP's remedial school. You know, all mining communities in Ghana, there are a lot of young ones who engages in what you call galamsey and all of that. So when I'm brought on board with the MP's remedial school, and remember, Ben, in Abirem here, in Abirem Constituency, Newmont Gold has established what you call the Newmont Action Foundation, which is a foundation that sought to address the needs of the constituent in terms of education, but it's purposely for those within the catchment areas. So when I'm brought on board with the MP's remedial school, I'm going to make sure that all of these young ones with deficits in their results and all of that, we are going to help them register, receipt, and then those from the catchment areas, Newmont Gold with the NAGDA Foundation will support them. And those who are not from that side, I'm going to make sure that the MP's common fund and then other needed funds will be put in place to help address that needs. And then lastly, I'm bringing what you call the People's Assembly. And this assembly
All right, we seem to have a challenge.
Basically, the assembly members and all of that.
Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yes, go ahead.
So this People's Assembly concept, it is going to address.
Frank, so from our end, we're having challenges with your connection. I see you now. Let's try this again. The last concept.
Is it better, Benjamin?
It is. Please go ahead.
Okay, so it's basically what I'm saying is that the People's Assembly is going to be a number of chiefs and elders, the clergy, opinion leaders, assembly members, where the youth, the citizenry will get the opportunity to more or less cross-examine the MP. For instance, if there's a complaint of a school building that has been ripped off and they've written to you as an MP and there's no response, how will be that connection between the citizenry and then the MP? And that is what is lacking, and I'm bringing this thing on board. Having said that, when we come to the delegates, then you realize that now there is that seeming disunity between the constituency chairman and then the MP. At the point, some of us, we had to contribute to help sustain the party in Abirem. Monthly donation of cash, 200 cedis for funerals and other stuff. So we have worked here, we have supported the community, we have served, we've stayed here, we've taught over years, and they know us. And we trust God that come Saturday, the good people of Abirem, they are going to reward that. But I cannot mention all of this without letting your viewers know of what I have brought on board, the famous Aponche Cup. It
The famous what?
It is the only surviving activity
Frank, if you
that
can
is
hear
sustaining
me.
the people.
Can you hear me, Frank?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you said something. The famous what? Aponche name?
Aponche Cup.
Aponche what?
It is basically a football, inter-community football games.
Okay.
Cup, yeah, football cup. Aponche Cup. So it's basically inter-community football games. And as I'm speaking to you, I have supported all the communities, 46 communities in Abirem, with footballs and GC. And we've done games to unite the youth and all of that. So as I'm speaking to you, we are 4 in number. And I can assure you that the people are able to connect well with me. They know I'm there for them. And I'm the only person they can look up to in terms of maximization of votes. And just to add, the year 2020, we recorded a decline in our vote in terms of the parliamentary, which is very alarming. Over the years, the gap between NDC and NPP in Abirem is 7,000, and it's been declining, and now it's 3,000. And if you are not careful, and we don't see these elections as more of parliamentary than presidential, we are going to lose the seat. And this is why Mireku is coming in as a fresh person with new energy, somebody who has stayed in the constituency and knows the geopolitics of the area. And trust me, the people will reward me and my God will speak.
Right. Now you're looking at the incumbent in the area. The NDC polled 15,110 votes in the 2020 elections, accounting for 43.54%. And then there was John Osei Frimpong with 19,151 votes. So a difference of about almost exactly 4,000 votes.
Right.
You are going to toe with John Osei Frimpong. You say you've been with the people, you've taught for 10 years, you've instituted the Aponche Cup and all of that. But it's still a tall order going against John Osei Frimpong. How do you think you're going to do this? You're not the only one going around doing things. I have
indicated to you earlier, the delegates have bought into my vision. And this vision...
How many delegates are we looking at?
Say again?
How many delegates are we looking at?
We are looking at 520 delegates, including the MP himself.
Okay. And as a former constituency rep, are you voting yourself as a delegate, or because you are former, you don't get to vote?
No. I don't have a voting right, but they know me and they know what I'm bringing on board. And Ben, the point is that all these points I articulated to you, these are things that are not contingent on the release of MP's common fund. It's my personal vision. I have always maintained that when you're an MP and you sought to list the things or the project being executed by the district assembly and all of that, and you arrogate all of those things to yourself as though you have done all of those things, that is fine. But I'm telling you, there is more to be done. You need to have your personal vision. And they think that Abirem has gotten to a stage where we need a dynamic person, somebody with new energy to bridge the gap. Like you mentioned, if you had gone back the year 2012 and you had looked at the results, and then 2016 and all of that, you realize that our votes keep declining. And Mireku is going to bridge that gap. I'm able to connect with the base here in Abirem, the party people and the ordinary constituents. I'm able to connect well with them, and that is the rationale of being put there as an MP. Because you are supposed to enact laws and all of that, but if the people who put you there, there's that kind of disconnect, then you've lost it. And this is something new I'm bringing on board, the agro-stop depot concept, the MP's remedial school. And just to add, the attrition rate, the rate at which teachers are leaving the constituency is very alarming. And when I'm brought on board, we are going to make sure that teachers' personal career growth. If you are posted to Abirem as a teacher and you teach for 2 years, 3 years, as an MP, it should be my personal project to ensure that you upgrade yourself by doing further courses and all of that. And this MP's award scheme and all of that, we are bringing all of those things on board to ensure that teachers would also have a future so that they don't leave the constituency as we see now. If you come to the education office right now, you'll be shocked. The rate at which teachers are leaving, and it's alarming. So all of these are the very basic things for which the delegates are bringing me this Saturday, so that I can help address their needs and all of that.
Right. I have taken a look at the voting pattern. The gentleman, John Frimpong, was in the 7th Parliament, so 2016 as well. The difference was about 7,000, 19,000 and 12,000 in 2016.
I mentioned that.
No, hold on. In 2016, it was about 19,000 to 12,000. Of course, 2020 was about 19,000 to 15,000, a difference of 4,000. When you look at 2016, it was 19,000, 7,000, 12,000 with a difference of 7,000. But when you go to 2012, it wasn't this current MP, it was Esther Obeng Dapa with 17,000 votes, and then Mavis Ahimah Frimpong with 14,000 votes. The difference there, about less than 3,000, actually. So in terms of the voting patterns, in 2012, it was actually closer than it was even in 2020 with the 4,000 gap. So between 2012 and now, the NPP's votes have appreciated by at least 2,000 thereabouts. It's stagnated at 19,000 plus. And the NDC has also moved from around 14,000 upwards to about 15,000 plus. So those are the real dynamics in there. But let me find out from you. These delegates, the over 500 of them, they are going to vote. Usually, I mean, you would want to transport them and all of that. Are you going to do that as well? Are you going to be giving the delegates any perks?
Oh, well, I just met them a while ago, and I have told them that they have to come on their own.
Okay, you're not giving them transportation?
Well, when they come on their own, they will meet me somewhere, and then I'll get them some transportation.
Okay. How much are you giving them?
Depending on where you are coming from. You know, if you are in Abirem where the elections are going to be held, and somebody is from, let's say, Mwana Praso or Chapiase, is going to differ.
So let's say someone from Chapiase, how much are you forecasting to give them for transportation?
Oh, let's say 100 cities will be okay.
Okay, so which communities, how far are most of the delegates that are coming? Are a lot of them from those areas like Chapiase, or are more of them in Abirem proper? Abirem.
Well, it's scattered. You know, Abirem is the district capital. The district is Abirem North, and the constituency is Abirem. So Abirem is the district capital. Most of the delegates, the largest electoral area is in Abirem. There are 55 people coming from there. Of course, we have Pankese and Mwana Praso and Ekwiase also coming from the other side, about 47 and then 40 thereabout. So it's scattered. It's scattered.
All right, so let's just do this. I like doing mathematics with you, members of parliament, and those aspiring to be members of parliament. Your delegates are over 500, even if I peg them at 500. And I assume that there are going to be, let me just do this. There are going to be 200 delegates coming from Chapiase and other areas, right? 200. That'll be 20,000 cedis. And if I assume that the rest of the 300 are coming from Abirem and you are giving them only 50 cedis, that is 15,000 cedis. Together, 35,000 cedis. Are you willing to spend 35,000 cedis on TNT just for... Just
you know that this job, before you put yourself out there, if you look at the filing we did and the all of those things, you realize that if you are not a certain MP, you'll be paying close to about 80,000. So you should be prepared before, coming on board. And
but that's exactly where my concern is. You need at least 80,000 plus. I'm asking, on the average, you know, the ordinary Ghanaian, how many people have 80,000 cedis sitting by to work with? So how do you get these kinds of money to pump into?
Well, first of all, I'm a contractor of good standing. At the point when I left local government as special assistant to Dr. Nana Atuata, I registered my company and I'm working. So I have done some savings. And then again, Ben, you know that this game called politics, you cannot do it all by yourself. people should be ready to support your vision and by extension, support you financially. So I have other people supporting me.
Do you know why how I usually get curious about this? So, what is it in Parliament that makes all of you willing to expend 80,000? And of course, this is just for the election. Of what may come even before is something different. 100,000, 200,000 to get to Parliament. You say you want to serve the people, and you are spending all these sums of money. What is in Parliament that makes you willing to spend all these kinds of money?
I think that this job is a calling, Benjamin.
It's a
See, I'm
calling.
a servant leader, and one key characteristic of a servant leader is you put the interest of your followers first, and that is what I do, and that is what I do to even derive the greatest satisfaction. So it is not about what I'm going to get financially from Parliament, but it is my ability, my lobbying skills, what I've been able to do for the people. When I got the opportunity to work with Dr. Nana Atwata for almost 3.5 years, what I have done passport more than any other person in Abirem to support. In terms of jobs, I have given them jobs, police, immigration, fire service, and all of that. You should be able to get off your seat, move around.
Anyway, the feed is patchy, but you say you've been able to secure jobs for them.
And police support your people.
Right. We have to go in about 2 minutes. What I find interesting else, you say you've been able to secure jobs for them, police, immigration, and the rest. So that also feeds into party people, whether NDC or NPP, in this case the NPP, always filling our services with people from party. You know, that in itself is problematic. That is why we are getting a lot of police officers and officers here and there who are not necessarily sticking to the script because they may not necessarily qualify, but we are pushing them in there. But the final bit I have for you, since you love your constituency so much, before you speak to your delegates and then we can go, since you love your constituency so much, it also means that you are willing to expend all of this money, and even if you lose, you will not be too sad, right? Hello, Frank? Hello, Frank, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yes, did you get the question?
No, I didn't hear you well.
I'm saying since you love your constituency so much, you are spending all this money and all of that, but that also means that even if you were to lose, you wouldn't, no wahala, right? No shaking because you love your constituency.
Not at all. I have been there for this party, and whether in opposition or in government, we support the party. So right. I'm a born and bred NPP. So regardless of the outcome, we are going to be there to support the party. But the bottom line is
so your final comments in some 30 seconds. Reach out to your delegates. We have to go.
Well, this is a special appeal to the delegates. They know me. I have come to them. I have told them what I'm capable of doing. I have sold my vision to them, and I'm appealing to them that they should not disappoint. This is the time for them to bring Mireku Ejumera. I have been there with them and all of that. I've supported this party ever since. There are people who are in the race. They have just joined. They should reward hard work. They should reward loyalty, and so that at least there will be that kind of a record in Abirem where if you just come and you say you are from here, meanwhile you haven't stayed here and all of that, and you just come with, you say you have money, that kind of talk should cease. We should reward hard work so that the city, there will be development, so that the local people would have that kind of the needed support and development we are all seeking to bring on board. Right. So it's a special appeal. They should vote number 3. And number 3 is a divine number. God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right. So I know God is on my side, and my God will speak.
Frank, thank you very much for joining the conversation. We wish you the very best as you seek to become the parliamentary candidate for the NPP in Abirem. That is Frank Ahimah Mireku. Come Saturday, he will be on the ballot. He says he's number 3, and he wants to get the nod of his people.